Do you hate documenting your work out there in the field? It's not about work you can do, it's about work you can document you've done. Documentation is the largest fight between a field and an office in a blue-collar trade working environment. Bringing you a product today called LiveSwitch. We've used it ourselves. This project management documentation tool is a link that you're gonna text your guys. Hey, grab a video of the fire hydrant underground. I'm gonna hit the link in my text message, take me a quick video, and then I'm gonna close my phone. It's gonna save exactly where my admins requested it out of, and we've properly documented whatever we needed on the job without an app, hosting all of your video storage on cloud-based storage through LiveSwitch themselves. If this is something that you guys keep running into a big pain point of frustration, check out LiveSwitch for a solution and use code BlueCollar10. Hello guys, told you guys this video would be coming, and I want to tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing and be upfront with you guys. And you guys are all feeling the market saturation through the country. There's no doubt about it. And in the commercial earthwork space, especially in our market, is thick. Like, they are racing to the bottom as fast as they can with margins. You've got 55-year-old guys, 60-year-old guys that have been in the game. I'm talking 50, 60-year-old companies that have been in the game for 50 or 60 years, calling me going, man, Si, I own the pits, the dump trucks, all the equipment on site, and man, even the pickups they drive back and forth in. I'm sitting here going, maybe this isn't the right call. And you're like, well, Si, why did you hold on to it if this, this is what you wanted to do? I said, my answer would be, this is not what I wanted to do. I would love to have enough work in front of this machine that this wouldn't be an issue. But in business, you have to learn to pivot. And I screwed that up many times before, hanging on for too long. And man, I'm a pipe guy. I'm a water and sewer pipe guy. That is what I do. And when we took this on, our market was really comfortable with a bunch of different general contractors that were comfortable. And so if you didn't send them an earthwork, a water, a sewer, storm drain, curb, asphalt, the whole nine, you weren't even getting looked at. And so 3 years ago, I said, let's go total site. Let's get in front of these guys. And so we moved towards this iMachine, and this iMachine's extremely expensive. Still owe money on it, of course. Most people do. This is an expensive payment a month. I've had it listed for a couple of months. But basically, I gave myself some deadlines through this year. We had 2 different really large projects that we were supposed to total site. Supposed to start in March, supposed to start in June, supposed to start in October, and they haven't even started yet. And now they're getting price shopped, just like everything else this year. And so I'm sitting here trying to be a leader, chase profitability, not revenue. And a lot of the dirt game, y'all are gonna hate me for saying this, but a lot of the dirt game is ego. And trying to get into commercial earthwork. I bought all those dump trucks years ago. If they were up on running, that may have been a different story, but man, I believe that was a mistake. But the amount of money that you have to float every single month, trucking, dirt, pits, to put in front of this machine is designed to do one purpose, and that's move yardage in a cut and fill environment and put it in place one time. It's very, very good at that job. It's comfortable while you're performing those duties, but that's about it. And this thing has sat so much this year. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys on the channel, on the podcast, chase profitability. And you know what? If we didn't know on this, we might keep it. It still might be selling it in the environment that we're sitting in currently, just trying to survive, man. I know a lot of you guys have been trying to get into the commercial space, and You know, some of you are landing some projects, and don't get me wrong, we've got work. We're rocking and rolling on the pipe side, and we're not busy heyday, but we got some work, keeping the guys that we got busy, and proud and happy to have what we got. Really excited for next year. It's looking really favorable, but this isn't a part of the plan moving forward. We talked about opening a pit in place for this individual that was in here, Mr. Sam. He kept this machine unbelievably immaculate. Big shout out to him. I got to talk about him for just a minute. He's the guy that mainly sat in this machine. He made sure it was serviced unbelievable. Timeline wise, we never missed a service. We never missed an oil change. We never missed nothing. And shout out to that operator and dirt superintendent, because he was amazing. But at the same time, got to have work for him to do. And so I kind of had this plan of, hey, let's navigate, instead of trying to land 1 out of 50 jobs, let's sell dirt to 30 out of the 50 jobs. Makes a lot more sense, and it's profitable, right? But at the same time, getting that out of the ground would take some time, and he's moved on. And I helped him move on because he's really good people, and he took care of this machine like it was his own, so I wanted to give him a shout out. It's tough. It's a tough call, doing what we had to do. But I'm making a call for the majority, for all of us, for the company. The GC market right now is completely shattered. They're picking things apart. They'll shave 5, 10 feet, 20 feet off a pipe just so they can get on a job. Or, you know, shave this electrical contractor or that contractor or whatever it may be. But like, they're doing whatever they can do just to land a project. And I can't compete with the guys that own the pits and can do it for just the cost of the material. And that's not fair to set somebody up for failure consistently on this dirt crew. If we're not aligned with it, delete it. And I know that sounds so savage, but everybody gets so caught up, including myself, and add dump trucks, add dirt equipment, add pipe equipment, add pipe tools, add this, let's do that. But man, keep the main thing for longer than you think. And screwed up a little bit along the way, chasing rabbits, but there's also things that I had to do business-wise to put us in different markets, right? And be able to accept our bids so we could maybe scale and grow. It's sad, guys. I really didn't think this chapter would close. But if you're gonna learn, if you're gonna add something to your business and you're gonna sit there and try and learn something, you better make sure margins are there, because you're gonna screw up. And we're still learning the commercial earthwork game. Like, it takes 5-10 years to really perfect, not even perfect, you don't even do them at that point, but to understand the systems and processes where money can get tight, where you can lose your butt, where you can make good money. All those opportunities are learned by experience, whether bad, good, or indifferent. The margins aren't there for us to keep learning. It's extremely heavy on the payable side, month to month, with everything that's included with moving dirt. Now, if you own your own trucks and you own your own pit and you own your own everything, man, send it. I can talk about the GPS and the efficiency of this machine all day long. It's unbelievable at what it does. Made us some money when it was pushing dirt, but if it doesn't do that one specific job, it's really hard to justify this payment. And so, with that being said, we've made, the collective decision to move away from commercial earthwork and move back to kind of what we were doing when we started this company. Man, I got so much joy out of, hey, can you build me a driveway up the side of this mountain? I don't need a $400,000 brand new. This is what it would cost to replace it. It's $386,000 brand new. Obviously, it's got 2,100 hours on it. I don't need this piece of equipment out there to build driveways with. I used to do them with mini X's and skid steers. There's got to be another way. And kicking that around, we started landing some, heavier residential work, I'd say, longer driveways, pure site developments, and just single family homes. But also too, we've got our subdivision lane and our commercial work within our pipe. It just didn't make much sense and didn't really line up with who we've been for 10 years. I love it. I love nothing more than watching this dozer go back and forth, and watching the earth get shaped, trucks running in and out. But that feeds my ego, right? That doesn't feed my bottom line. And there's gonna be guys that sit here and go, well, you're not bidding right. Well, I completely agree with you. But if you want a callback right now in the commercial lane, there ain't much margin in our market. I don't know about yours, but I'm telling you guys from my experience and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Gonna be really sad when this thing goes. I'm actually sitting out here waiting on a gentleman to show up and look at it for the first time and see if this is something that he may want, need for his business. He's landed a few big commercial jobs. And we're gonna let her go. But we're going to keep hammering with our pipe crews. We've got 3.5 pipe crews essentially right now that we're running. Smaller admin team than ever. We're running super lean, effective, and we're still concentrating on our systems, processes, and procedures so that if we do need to expand slightly, we will. But you guys are literally getting to watch the rise, the fall, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just learning from my experience. I've screwed up a lot of things. I've done a lot of things right over the years. But it's not about mistakes you make. It's how you handle them, what you learn from them. And in entrepreneurship, nobody really prepares you for that. They just don't. So I encourage you to have a mentor relationship, a couple of them that you can bounce these ideas off of. Obviously, I didn't just wake up one morning and go, this is what I'm going to do. I put myself on some deadlines, and October 15th came around, and I made the collective decision with the team, the financial folks, everybody, and let's focus on the main thing of what we do. That's a water, sewer, storm contractor. We do underground utilities. And you would be so surprised, guys, at the amount of people, dirt contractors, that have called me since they found out I was getting out of the dirt game. Because they're all slow right now. And they're all like, hey, what are you seeing? Now I'm not a competitor anymore. Now they all want, I can't say all, but a majority of them that I've never heard from before are now, hey, will you lay pipe, team up on this, do this? So it's just funny. So what you can think is going to be just your largest setback can also be your furthest accelerant. Tim Grover, I've talked about him a little bit on the podcast, but I got to see him out there at Area Dirt World. That was Kobe Bryant's and Michael Jordan's and Dwayne Wade's motivational coach, speaker, whatever you want to call him. And he talked about adding and deleting. Everybody's always on us about getting our crap together. Get your crap together. Get your crap together. Well, when you finally get your crap together, you have a big old pile of crap that you got to sort through. You got to figure it out, like all at once. So it's not always get your crap together, but delete some crap along the way where your pile of crap is a little bit more manageable, in his words. And the other thing he shared with a room full of dirt contractors and utility entrepreneurs is that when we first start a project, we always cut out the bad. You've got to cut out the bad. You've got to cut out the unsuitable soils, the unstable soils, and either bring in or roll what's below the ground for a foundational set to start building up. Yeah, it's a simple concept, Si, but deletion and disturbance of anything always comes with disruption. And This may be a disruption, but honestly, I'm so excited for next year and the model and the plan that we have collectively come up with as a team. I'm going to roll it out to them at the first of the year, to everyone, so everybody understands what we're doing. And onward and upward. We're going to miss her. Ain't no doubt about it. It's really cool. It was really cool owning this thing, man. It was really cool to say I had it. We owned it. It's made us money. It's lost us a lot of money. Not this specific machine, just how we bid the job or how we attacked the job or how we did produce the job or whatever it may be. It's won and lost a lot of money. And this ain't the time to be paying for ignorance tax. If you know your trade, stick to it. I did what I had to do to land more pipe jobs. And for some reason, I lost that along the way. Don't judge yourself on yesterday's decisions with today's wisdom. That's all I got, guys.